I'll wait for some folks to get in here. I really want to just talk about my story with keto and exercise and overall kind of weight loss journey. And I get questions on this all the time. And of course, I have, videos in here where I talk about, this weight loss journey. But I wanted to just kind of do a quick live 30 minutes. It's something I'll be doing on a weekly basis. I want to start doing lives every Wednesday, ideally at 1:30. Today it started at 2, but really just talking about keto, right? And overall, the health and fitness aspect of, and mental aspect of this health and fitness journey. So I started my, I don't even want to say I started because if you've ever seen any of my videos and especially kind of my weight loss story, you'll see that um, I started my journey. I've basically been on a diet since I was 8 years old. And so, and it sounds crazy to think about it, right? Can you imagine putting your 8-year old on a diet? But it was just something that the doctors told my mom to do, or my parents to do, and so they did it. And really, I was speaking at a keto event this weekend, and one of the things that I talked about, or this past weekend, one of the things that I talked about is that prior to being put on that diet at 8, I don't think I had many issues when it came to food, in terms of my relationship with food and things like that. I actually felt okay about food. I don't believe I was overeating. And when I look at pictures prior to that diet, I really was not an overweight kid. Thing is, I was 135 pounds, but I was also 5 feet tall. So people, I guess they didn't think about height back then when it came to weight. And so my parents were told to put me on a diet. So now I'm on a diet at 8, and I literally showed pictures right after that diet, and I gained a good amount of weight after that. And so I mentioned that to talk about how these things that happen in our lives that may seem small, may seem irrelevant, how they can affect the rest of our lives. So being put on a diet at 8 years old affected my relationship with food to this day. And so when I talk to my clients about this, my health and fitness clients, the one thing I always talk about is we have to dig deeper. Weight loss and getting healthy, it's not just about exercise. It's not just about, nutrition, right? Obviously, those things are important. We've got to be, eating healthy, whether that's keto or however you do it. For me, it was keto. But however you do it, we've got to be eating healthy, right? We've got to be exercising. We've got to move our body to keep them going, right? So that they're getting what they need, right? Because frankly, you move it or you lose it, right? So those things are important, but the mental aspect is really important too. You know, it plays a huge part in keeping the weight off for good. I lost the weight 5 years ago now, almost 5 years ago. It seems crazy, but I lost it that long ago, and I've been able to keep most of it off and maintain. But I've definitely had struggles along the way. I talk about them on this YouTube channel all the time because I think it's important to share that. To share the fact that it's not like you lose the weight and all set, I'm skinny now. Hey, y'all, I'm gonna be skinny for the rest of my life. That is not a thing. Like anybody that tells you that's a thing is lying to you, right? We've got to change up here and we've got to fix the things up here in order to sustain full time, right? In order to sustain long term and to keep the weight off. Otherwise, it'll be this one time you were successful and lost 100 pounds, and then you turn around and you've picked it back up. And I know so many people who've done that because they didn't deal with up here, right? So that's something we want to start talking about more and more in this community, right? If you align yourself with a coach or with a personal trainer or whatever, and they are not talking about the mental aspects of it, then you might want to find a new coach or trainer because the mental aspects of it plays a huge part. We've got to change the mindset in the relationship with food in order to get healthier overall, in order to maintain weight loss and fitness and good health, right? So ask me any questions on here. I'm going to be here for 30 minutes. So definitely ask any questions you have. I do want to tell you guys, I actually have a boot camp coming up. It's really a challenge, right? Remember, I used to do challenges all the time, and I haven't done one in like a year. And so I just kind of decided that I'm going to be hosting another one October 11th, where I'm helping people get healthy with, 21 days of meal plans, right? Healthy meal plans, 21 days of exercise, workouts, things like that, right? And then also 21 days of mindset shifts and mindset changes, right? So that we can fully, bring that lifestyle back and really, really dig into what our issues are. Why we're eating like this, why we continue to turn to food for comfort and things like that, right? Why we connect food to so many different things in our lives. So these are things that we're going to be talking about and really pushing forward in this challenge. So if you want to sign up for that challenge, if you're thinking about it, or if it's something that you're interested in, definitely follow me on Instagram, because I'll be talking about it a lot more there as well. But then also on Instagram, I'm Keto Mommy Makeover. I should just type that in here somewhere. No, I'm not vegan. So on Instagram, Keto Mommy Makeovers, you can find that. You can find me in there too, right? But I would say follow me on Instagram, Keto Mommy Makeover. I just typed it in, because what in there on there I'll be putting out like the dates and stuff like that. But the date for this challenge is gonna be October 11th. So you definitely want to get in that challenge. And if you follow me on Instagram, you can always send me a DM, and I'll send you the link to join the challenge, because the way I see it is it's a full-blown game changer. Like you can really, really change your life and change what you're doing. Um, so let's talk about, I saw somebody ask me if I was a vegan. I tried vegan for a while. So I see Lady Smith Rose is saying, thank you so much. I see she's saying she needs to lose 80 pounds, right? So I understand that. I've definitely been in that situation. You just need to like get back to being you, feeling good again, feeling healthy again, right? Um, so what I would suggest is, I've tried vegan, and the one concern I have with vegan is that so many people on vegan, who are vegan, there's different ways to do vegan, just like there is with anything, right? So even with keto, right? There's people who do keto and they do like a lazy keto, or whatever they call it, where they're not even lazy, but like a dirty keto. That's what they call it, dirty keto, where they're eating a lot of processed foods and things like that, right? And there are people who do vegan the same way. So when I was a vegan, which I was a vegan at one point, this was almost 10 years ago, I was doing a dirty vegan. So I thought, oh, I'm vegan, but I would be eating like potato chips and French fries and all the things, but no meat, right? And so we don't get healthy that way either, right? So that was my situation. So I always say, however we're going to do it, whatever eating style you're going to take, definitely do it in the healthiest way possible, because we want our bodies to function the way they're supposed to, right? As efficiently as possible. So don't do vegan like I did vegan back in the day. Oh my gosh, I don't even want to show the folks. Like, I wish I'd have taken pictures of the things that I ate when I was a vegan. It was just not. I don't know why I thought that was going to be healthy if I was going to eat it like that. So, anyways, yeah. But Lady Smith, definitely reach out to me on Instagram. I want to. I'm going to give you the link to Keto My Makeover on Instagram, and I can definitely help you. So let's have a conversation. If you just send me a DM on Instagram, we'll talk, and then I can give you information for the challenge, and we can sit down and have a conversation too. Because when I am not joking when I say that it is so important to me that we all get healthy. Like, I say that a lot in the videos that I do. Thank you so much, Sonia. Hey, Sonia. So I say that so much in the videos I do, and the reason I say it is because it's so true. Like, it means so much to me as for everyone to be healthier, and that's always been important. But even more so since this whole COVID thing, because we've all lost so many people, right? To this pandemic. And so I think the best way to combat it, whether you're vaccinated now, I'm not getting those conversations, because you know how those conversations go. But I think the best way to combat it is to get healthy, right? Like, the healthier we are, the better we can fight those things. So what does that mean? It means eating healthier. It means exercising, moving our bodies. It means getting a healthier mindset, like overall wellness, looking at ourselves differently, speaking to ourselves differently. Like, most don't consider those things when they're thinking about health, right? A lot of times when folks are thinking about health, they think about, oh, I've got to lose weight, or I've got to, do this, do that, whatever it is, right? I need my knees to feel better. But we don't normally think about the mental aspect of it. We need to be overall healthy, right? Because frankly, and I'm sure a lot of ladies here will identify with me on this, but have you ever been in a situation where you're eating on plan, you're exercising, doing all the things that you're drinking your water, you're doing the things that you're supposed to do, and yet you're not seeing progress on your journey? Many times when we do that, it's because of the mental. Because what's happening is you're overly stressed at work, right? Or, something's happening with the kids and now you're like running around the place. You're not getting enough sleep. Whatever that is, those things also impact our weight loss, and our health, especially as we're getting older, right? When we're 40 and up, actually, I would even now venture to say 30 and up, because I was speaking at a conference this weekend, and one of the other speakers was talking about metabolic health, right? And we all know how important metabolic health is. So basically, we all have like a metabolic age, right? And they're saying that now our metabolic age is essentially 10, most people's metabolic age is like 10 years older than they actually are. So essentially, if you are 25, because of the way that you've been eating all your life, McDonald's, all the processed foods, all that stuff, right? All the extra sugar and all that even though you're 25 in age, metabolically you're 35. So what does that mean in the long run? That means that there's a potential of, you know, getting things like high blood pressure, high cholesterol, diabetes, all those ailments that we used to see people get. I remember being young, like my grandmother had a bunch of pills, right? She was in her late 60s, early 70s. So to me, it just made sense. Okay, well, as you get into your 70s or whatever, you take pills, I remember my grandmother saying, "Oh yeah, I got the sugar." Like that meant she had diabetes, right? So like they all were getting, the ailments were starting to come when they were in their 70s and 80s, right? And I thought that was normal, right? It's still not normal, honestly, even in your 70s and 80s. But what's even less normal, or even more, um, I'll say scary, is that now people are getting high blood pressure, high cholesterol, diabetes in their 30s and 20s, and some kids have it. So when kids are getting type 2 diabetes, I'm not talking type 1, right? I'm talking type 2 diabetes, which they used to call adult onset diabetes. They can no longer call it that because so many kids have it now, right? So with that being the case, that goes to show that, our metabolic age is getting older and older, or further and further away from our actual age. So we've got to pull those numbers together, right? We've got to get back healthy. And the way I see doing that is by eating healthier. I prefer keto, right? I prefer keto. For me, that works well for me, right? I eat tons of vegetables. I eat, healthier. I eat, clean protein, right? Um, I eat, organic grass-fed beef when I have beef, which is not that often. I usually do a lot of ground turkey. I do a lot of seafood, all those things to nourish my body, right? And so when we're thinking about that, and it also helps with the skin. Anyways, when we're thinking about that, right? So that's how I eat, right? That's helped me to lose the weight, lose 120 pounds, and to maintain it, right? But whether you're keto, paleo, whether you're vegan, I know, Lady Smith was talking about vegan earlier, whether you're vegan or whatever it is you are, it doesn't have to be like, choose a healthy, do it in the healthiest way possible. Not the way I did vegan back in the day, but the healthiest way possible. You're eating healthy, right? And you're making that healthy eating and those healthy habits a lifestyle, then you can do it long term and you can live a longer life. I see Lady Smith is saying that she heard that parents are outliving their children because of overweight and diabetes. It's so true. Um, so last weekend, I lost my uncle, right? And he's older, he's 73, right? But I think growing up, I thought, wow, my grandmother's lived a really long life. So genetically or hereditary, right? We should all live long lives. But my uncle just passed, and my grandmother is 97 now, and she has three children that have passed before her. And thank you so much. But the thing, what I only tell this to say that, and that was definitely hard on our family because he was like the uncle, But I say that to say, had folks been eating health in a more healthy way, or just had the knowledge, because sometimes we just don't know, right? We just don't know what we don't know. But they ate a lot healthier back when my grandmother was coming up, because they were farming and eating what they were on the farm, and than they do now. And so that's affecting us metabolically. And so when I think about it, to your point, parents are outliving their children. She's outlived three of her children. And it's the worst. To me, it's the worst situation ever to outlive your children. Like, that is not supposed to happen. So what do we do now, right? What do we do from here? Thank you, Sonia. So it's like, what do we do from here? And what we do is we get healthier, right? We get healthier for we get healthier ourselves, and we promote and implement good healthy habits in our family. So that's something that we talk about a lot in the challenge, right? Because a lot of folks in the challenge end up being it's mostly women. We sometimes have a few guys, right? But it's mostly women in the challenge, in my challenges, right? And they're again weight loss challenges. So it's mostly women. The women, I mean the women, a lot of times, especially moms, are thinking about how am I going to maintain my weight loss, or eat healthy for myself, lose the weight for myself, and then also make a meal for everybody else in the family. And my response to that is always, guess what? You know, um, you don't have to make multiple meals. Like, that's just not how it works. You can make one meal, and everybody eat it, right? So that's the way that I do things in my house, right? When I cook, because I don't usually cook a lot in the summer. In the winter, I cook a lot more in the fall, but in the summer, we're just out and about, right? So I was saying that to say you can make one meal and just tweak it slightly so that everybody else can eat it. I've got a whole video on that actually. It's called like making meals for a family, or eating healthy for a family, or something along those lines. I can't remember exactly what the video is called. Sorry, but it talks about how you can take one protein and use it every single day, right, for a week, right? So let's say you do chicken, right? So you get what I was doing. I would get 2 rotisserie chickens from Costco, right? So let's say you do chicken, or if you do or ground turkey. Sometimes I create a big thing of ground turkey, right? So I've got a few videos like this, big thing of ground turkey, and I'll take that ground turkey, and today I'll make spaghetti, and so I'll make spaghetti for the whole family. And what do? I modify the noodles, so they eat the noodles, and I either eat like a keto noodle or zucchini noodles, or I'll do what's the other noodle? Oh, or I'll just do no noodles, right? So that's how I do it, and then and that's one day. The next day we'll have tacos, and so my tacos go basically my ground turkey for the tacos go over a salad or something, and I've got a recipe in here for my ground turkey taco salad. It is my favorite thing. So my tacos go over a bed of lettuce of some sort, right? And I add some salsa and add some different things. And my family's tacos, they like taco shells still. So I'll get the organic taco shell of some sort, because I'm always thinking, oh, at least if I go organic, it's closer, right? It's a little better. So they'll get the gluten-free organic taco shells, or wraps or whatever, and I'll put theirs on that. And now it's the same meal. I haven't really changed anything, because something I talked about when I spoke at the Keto Summit last week was that um, as a mom, and frankly, as a busy person in general, not even just moms, we've got to make things simple for us on this journey. Otherwise, we won't stick to it. Like, I can't tell you how many times I did not stick to some sort of diet, lifestyle, whatever I was trying to do. Can't tell you how many times I didn't stick to it, right? The reason is because it's got to be beyond 100, right? And the reason why I didn't stick to things is because I made it hard, right? I was trying to eat, chicken breast with no salt or whatever on it, and broccoli and rice, and brown rice or whatever back in the day, right? That was like the thing to eat. And then I would have nothing. Like, then I try and make a whole another meal like spaghetti or something for the family. And it's like, how long am I going to sustain that? 2 days, essentially. um, you're looking amazing. I've been following you for a few years now. You're such an inspiration. Thank you so much, Mammy. Nice to meet you. Um, I would say definitely follow me on Instagram too. I am definitely on there more, but I will say, and I meant to mention this a few times earlier, I'll be doing these sessions like lives every Wednesday. So my plan is to do it at 1:30 for about 30 minutes every Wednesday. That's my plan because I really want to get back to like imparting whatever I can and providing whatever I can on YouTube. But I also have a challenge coming up that I'm really, really excited about. It is, I'm calling it Get Your Snatch Back, right? Get Snatch Challenge, right? It's a 21-day challenge where I'm helping you with meal planning. So I'm providing meal plans, which come with grocery lists, all those things, right? Also, I've got meal plans, workouts, right? So the way I do my workouts, I do them for every level of fitness, right? Because the main thing is I want to make sure that when we are doing a workout, that we don't feel like, oh, man, I looked at that and I know I can't do it, so I'm not gonna do anything. Like I want it to be something where you're like, oh, I could do this part. So I always provide the workouts where they always have modifications. And then of course we're gonna do mindset and all that every day in the challenge. So it's 21-day challenge. It's gonna be start October 11th, and I'm really excited about it. I'm gonna be talking about it even more every week, but I'm so excited about this challenge. It's the first one I've done in about over a year, and I just wanted to do something to honestly, as this delta has increased, I'm like, I want something that people can be excited about. So I decided to do a new challenge so that we can get excited about it, we can push forward, and really continue to change that mindset around food and relationship with food as we go into the holidays. And the way I see it is, if we can start that going into the holidays, then once we get to the holidays, we aren't, oh my goodness, let me eat everything, right? It's changing the mindset early, right? And changing the relationship with food early so that when the holidays come, they're normal. We're eating regular. We aren't feeling the need to overly stuff our plates. And so that's why I wanted to do the challenge October 11th because that gets us right to what is that? Halloween. And so now we're looking at all the candy and we might say, okay, I'm gonna taste one. Or we might taste none. But what we darn sure aren't gonna do, because you'll have the tools and things from this challenge, you're not gonna take 100 of them, because that's the main thing. I've been struggling with my weight so much and need some structure and motivation. Yes, and that's what it's all about. And the thing is, I think that we tend to get down on ourselves a little bit when it comes to struggling with our weight, right? And one of the things I always say is, even someone who's an expert at health and fitness and exercise and things like that, right? They usually have a coach too. I always say every coach has a coach. And I said this for a long time, but it really hit me hard. And this is going to be funny the way I say it, but I'm telling you, this is what made it hit home for me, that every coach has a coach. Because I will always have someone that helps me. Like I will always have a personal trainer because I focus so much on helping other people stay healthy that I want to make sure somebody is focusing on me. And the way I see that is, it's you pouring back into yourself. It's me pouring back into me, because I can't give from an empty cup. So let me tell you how it was further proven for me that every trainer has a trainer. I was talking to this woman on Instagram. Her name is Mel, right? Great lady. We've chatted a few times, DM'd, everything, right? And this is a few years ago. So all of a sudden, I see her on Kim Kardashian's like Instagram page, and I was like, what? And she was Kim Kardashian's new trainer. And I was like, oh my gosh, Mel, it's amazing. Like, this is crazy. So I was so excited for her, right? And I thought, wow, she is killing it. And this woman is killing it, like fully cut up. She's amazing, right? And I thought, okay, so she's training Kim, right? So that Kim can stay on her thing. Because Kim's not a professional like exercise or nutritionist or, personal trainer or anything, right? Then I was on Mel's page another day, and Mel's working out with her trainer. So I'm like, if Kim Kardashian's trainer has a personal trainer, right? Has a coach, someone that helps her along this journey, because this is a lifelong journey. This isn't something that ends the moment you reach your goal. Like otherwise, I would have stopped my YouTube channel 4 years ago, right? Like you keep this going because this is a journey that stays with you, right? It's a lifetime journey, and we need to accept that it's a lifetime journey, right? There are some people who like, I have an aunt like this who could eat anything she wants, never gains a pound, right? That has never ever been my story. And I struggled with that for a long time. Like, that's not why can't I? Because you can't. It's just it just is what it is, right? Like it's never been my story and it's never going to be my story. So I can't pretend that it's my story, right? So it's a lifelong journey. So since it's a lifelong journey, I we need support in lifelong journeys, right? We get support in all these other things in lives, right? We go to a doctor to do wellness checks, right? We go to the dentist to do wellness checks as teeth cleaning and fill cavities and all those things. But for whatever reason, we think that this is a journey that we should just do on our own, right? So I thought if Kim Kardashian's trainer has a trainer and has a coach, then why can't the rest of us? You know? So I am a personal trainer and I'm a certified, keto nutritionist and a life coach. But I still will always have a coach. I have a business coach and I have a coach, a personal trainer that I work with. You know, like an online personal trainer. Like that's what we do because you want to, even though you're helping people, you still need to have your cup filled as well. And so that's something that I always talk about as well because it's so important, right? We want to be healthy, but we also need to help others. I mean, we want to help other people stay healthy, but we also need to be healthy ourselves. And early on in my journey of coaching people, right? Because I'd lost the weight and then I started helping people, get healthy. And early on in that process, right? It was around 2017 I started helping people. And then at like the end of 2017 when I started the YouTube channel and started helping people. Then the end of 2018, all of a sudden I gained a bunch of weight. And I was like, what is happening? And I have a whole video on it, right? It's called How I Lost 30 Pounds in 30 Days. And so I was like, what's happening? How on earth did I gain weight and I'm helping people? And what I realized is that I was pouring so much into everyone else and I was stressing about like, as I was growing my business. And so I wasn't pouring into me. And so I wasn't watching the things that I was telling my clients to watch. And so that's when I realized this is not just about eating and exercise. This is mental. And I will gain every pound back if I don't get a handle on it now. You know, and I need more and I can't let everything go and not pour back into me. So I was like, I've got to pour back into myself. So have I've got to have a coach that's just that it's almost like I can be accountable to, you know? Yeah, exactly. The mental aspect is so hard. Um, and it can definitely be a struggle, you know? We should connect life adventures in keto just to, I mean, some of these conversations are major. We've got to fill our own cup. It becomes so important on this journey, and we look at it in so many aspects of our lives, right? Even when we think about like therapy or trying to think of other people have life coaches, all these things because we realize that there's so many aspects of our lives that we've got to fill, right? Like, yes, I love that. You got to love yourself, right? And the way we love ourselves is by giving to ourselves, by treating ourselves right. So definitely it's important to eat healthy because we have to think about, guess what? I love you enough to give you good things to eat, to give you healthy things to eat, right? Because we tend to think that we love ourselves enough to give. I mean, we're like, oh, I love myself, I love myself, I love myself. And we do love ourselves, but we've got to start treating ourselves like someone that we love. And it's like, if I love my kids, so I don't want to give them a bunch of candy 24 hours a day and just I wouldn't throw cigarettes down my kid's throat, right? I wouldn't give my kid a cigarette, right? Because I know it's harmful. So then if I've learned that an excessive amount of sugar or an excessive amount of processed foods is not a good thing, then I don't want to give it to them. So then I always think if we won't give that to our kids, why would we do it to ourselves? You know, I'm saying I love myself. So I need to love myself enough to nourish my body in a healthy way. I need to nourish myself. I need to love myself enough to exercise, right? And I need to love myself enough to take care of myself mentally. So, and that means filling our own cup as well. A lot of people say use the analogy with a plane, right? Put your mask on before you help others, right? And I've never I've never been that person. Like I always knew, and probably to this day this would be the case if something was happening. I'd be grabbing that mask, put it on my kid first. I already know it. It's just who I am. It's in me. So I had to find other ways to still help myself without feeling like, okay, I'm giving it to let me see. I need to exercise for sure, set up intentions, but my follow through is not strong. It can be strong, you know? Wait, so we're talking about, oh, this is so true. I believe the reason I failed so many times on this weight loss journey is because I tend to sabotage myself. I feel like I'm my worst enemy. And so many people do that. Like one of the things we talk about in the challenge, the challenge that I'm hosting on in July or in, what is it, October 11th, we talk about self-sabotage because it's so many people do that. It's just and it's something that we've been ingrained to do for so long. And there's something in our lives that triggered that self-sabotage, like earlier on, right? And so we've got to find a way out of that. And so we push through how to get through that from a mental standpoint so that as we're moving through this journey, that we're not constantly backstepping because, and it could be that you get to a certain point, you get to a 20-pound weight loss and you're like, I don't really deserve to be 21 pounds down or to be 30 pounds down. So then we just kind of stop, so we've got to think about those things. So definitely send me an email. Yeah, definitely send me an email or actually send me a DM. If you're on Instagram, that's a way better way to reach me. It's Keto Mommy Makeover. What do we need to do to join the challenge? Send me a DM on at Keto Mommy Makeover on Instagram. So if you don't follow me on Instagram, here, I'll put it in here. At Instagram, .com/Keto Mommy Makeover. Yeah, follow me on Instagram and send me a DM on Instagram, right? And so when you send me the DM, we'll talk. I'll send you the link to get in the challenge. It's I have to send it to you because it's a weird. I mean, it's a longer link, but I'll also put it in the description of this video once we're finished so that everybody has access to it because I want to make sure that folks can get in it, right? Because it's going to be a game changer and I already know it. And I used to do challenges before and people would lose 20 pounds sometimes in 21 days. So I always say up to 20 pounds, right? But there were people who were losing more. But then there were people who lose 5 pounds and things completely change their relationship with food. So it's so important. Cindy, I truly struggle with me eating different and me fixing my husband to eat differently. Yeah. And I want what he has to eat. And it just seems unfair. No, Cindy, I know exactly what you're talking about. So I was talking earlier in this live about how I make one meal and I figured out a way to make one meal. And I actually got some videos on that. How I make one meal for me and the family, and I just tweak it slightly. So look at some of those videos, Cindy, because that might actually help. Because then you also don't feel like you're eating something so different. Because I talked about how back in the day, early on in my diet, not early on, but when I was dieting, when I first got married and stuff, I'd be making like, baked chicken or whatever, and brown rice and broccoli, because that's all anybody told you to eat. And so what I would do is when I do that, no one else, like I'd have to make a whole nother meal for everybody else. And it wouldn't last for me. And I'd be jealous that they were eating this and I was eating that. And so it just did not last, So I would say definitely. And then also just, if any gut issues or anything like that, there's ways to still find, even some, like when we do pancakes, I'll do like the keto pancakes and they have gluten-free pancakes in my family. So they eat gluten-free pancakes. I eat the keto pancakes. And so we just find ways to tweak it slightly so that doesn't feel, because you don't want to feel left out. That when it comes to eating, when it comes to exercise, anything, it's like that's all a part of it. So I actually have to run. Definitely send me a DM on Instagram and I put my Instagram up there. It's Keto Mommy Makeover, which you can also find in the description of any of my videos. Send me a DM on Instagram and we'll talk about how to join the challenge and stuff. And then I'll send you the link for the challenge too. And I'm actually going to put it in the description of this video as well. All right. So I will talk to you all soon. I got to meet with one of my clients right now. All right. Take care, everybody. Have a great day. And I'll see you guys next Wednesday at 1:30. All right. Talk to you then. Thank you all. Take care. What is she saying?